Mikkey Dee from Motorhead. Well, Motorhead, Dokken, King Diamond, Scorpions.
Yeah.
We could have a 5 hour discussion with you, but tonight here we are to talk about this marvelous new release. There we go. There, that's what it looks like.
Yes, that's the one.
How does it feel seeing an entire career wrapped up in a double album?
Well, it really isn't. It's just a fraction of the career, but I think it's a good combination. I was happy with what we did and what I saw suggested to me first, and because the whole thing with something like this is that we can add 20, 40 songs, and still people will ask for, well, why didn't you pick this particular song? And I keep saying, okay, which ones do you think we should thrown out? And they say none. So it'll be about 100 songs on there, but I think it's a good selection, and I do love the whole product in itself, the packaging, and it's a really good thing.
Yep. Well, I come with my club membership here.
Oh, there we go. You got the real one, huh?
Number 42.
Wow. Well, that's badass. That's killer.
So hello to the green the Great Frog, isn't it? The Great Frog in New York
the Great
City.
Frog.
Yeah, fantastic.
Every motor banger has one of those babies.
Do you have one?
I have one in gold from the Great Frogs.
Okay. Well, I've got to work my way up the chain then, haven't I? When you joined Motorhead, you already came to the band with a reputation. Did you feel when you started with the band you had anything to prove? Or was that all part of the audition and the bands beforehand?
No, absolutely. I really had to dig very, very deep into to try to, I mean, I don't know really where to start, but I had to earn my trust to the band and the fans. Absolutely, show them that I was the right guy and I was going to work very hard at this, and so I did, and I did get accepted very, very quick, which I'm very happy for, because as I said in a million interviews, I had two options. Either being a Filthy Animal Taylor stand-in or a replacement, or I was going to put myself on the map. And obviously, I choose the second option. Taylor was fantastic, and he did great over the years with Motorhead, and we were dear friends as well. So I thought he was perfect, and I looked up to him in many ways. But here I was a very different drummer, and I would change the music and the approach, and that was just time for a change, I think. And I believe that we took Motorhead to another level in any way, shapes, and forms. But it's always going to be that so-called original guys, Eddie and Taylor. I mean, they had the success of Ace of Spades, and they started the whole thing. They created the whole thing, and I totally agree on that. You can't live off old, success. You know what I mean? Motorhead was in trouble at that time when I joined the band. They were not in a harmony, and Lemmy wanted to move on. So there we go.
30th of August 1992, your first gig. Tell me your recollections. How did you feel? Nervous?
Yes, I was, because we did rehearse before the show. Was it August 30th?
August the 30th, 1992, at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, New York City.
Yeah. We did not rehearse. Lemmy said, if you play half as good as you did with King, because we toured together a few years before that, well, many years before that, with King Diamond Motorhead, and well, they just seemed to be sitting back in that comfortable couch and enjoying the ride somehow. And I thought it was a terrible show myself, and they thought it sounded better. Well, it was the best show in 15 years, Lemmy said. And I go, no, no, no. But we did rehearse after that. We start to really get into it. We really needed to, well, to start playing. I mean, it did sound a lot better after that particular tour. But we came to England and we rehearsed at John Henry's for a couple of days. And we went from here to there, just in 2-3 days. So, and then Lemmy got almost possessed by rehearsing. So that was great, but at that time, it was very nerve-wracking, yes.
We saw your name first pop up on the March or Die album, just one track, Hellraiser. Did they ease you into the band?
No, they actually wanted me to re-record the album, to redo the drum tracks, but there was no budget for it. And I think it was ridiculous because Tommy Aldrich did a fantastic job. I mean, he stepped in and banged the shit out of the songs there. So I thought he did great, and they should keep that. And I didn't have time to put myself into these songs at that time. It was just Hell on Earth and Hellraiser that I was going to record, basically. And then Lemmy asked me for the third or the fourth time to join the band. And at that time, it was the right timing.
There was the track I Ain't No Nice Guy featuring Slash and Ozzy Osbourne. What a lineup. And that one pops up on the album as well.
Yeah, it's a great track. And we recorded the video we did at Mates in Burbank at Bobby's place. And Ozzy came down there and Slash. And we just slammed through we made it ourselves, actually, because we had no support from the record label at that time at all. They didn't see the point in making a video. And we go, you guys got to be crazy, I believe our accountant Laurie is in the video as well.
The ex-accountant. Bastards came along, and I guess that was the first real Mikkey Dee Mötörhead album, wasn't it? That was the one where you were on every track of the album.
Well, it's not just being on every track. I wrote every track, I co-wrote, me and Phil and Versal and Lemmy, we wrote every song together. And that is a completely different situation when you have time to write together and get into the record in a completely different way than just sitting down and playing some tracks, so that and that's why we went from here to there. I'd say it's a great album. I know it was one of Lemmy's absolute favorite albums,
Yeah. Well, by the time we got to Overnight Sensation, Motörhead had become a three-piece, and that really became the nucleus of the band all the way through to the end, didn't it?
Yes. We were a bit worried about that at first because Versal was kind of the wild and crazy guy on stage, and Phil was more the solid musician, he kept it together, and Versal could run around and be nuts on stage. And I remember the record label called and said, "Oh my God, we need to find a guitar player." And I said to the label, I said, "No, we don't need a guitar player. We need a bass player." We had 3 guitar players in the band, Now we got 2 left, Lemmy and Phil. Well, because of the way Lemmy was playing his bass. But we decided to go a 3-piece, and Phil was really happy about that because he could really flourish out on stage. And I can't believe the first show we did when both me and Lemmy were on Phil and saying, "Hey, you're gonna have to be nuts on stage. You're gonna have to be a lot more active than maybe what he used to be when Versa was running around. And from the first song to the end, Phil was all over the place. And he's such a great guitar player. He was super correct everywhere and still just exploded in craziness on stage. So he had a lot of fun, and so did we. So, and Lemmy used to say, there's one less more to fight with, or argue with. As it makes sense.
I loved the covers that you guys chose to do over the years, whether it be Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, Cat Scratch Fever, the Stones' Sympathy for the Devil. It really showed where your origins were coming from. That Stones thing, I mean, you've done a few Stones songs over the years. What sort of feelings would you have for Steve Jordan at the moment, who's out there filling in for Charlie Watts as a drummer? How would you have gone about handling something like that?
I could have done it. It's a matter of, I mean, he's a fantastic drummer. Such a great feel, and no, he's perfect for the Rolling Stones, but. That's where I've been playing my whole life, is trying to be very wide as a drummer. I've played everything from big band jazz to fusion to pop to soul to heavy metal to speed metal to rock and roll to blues. I don't care for being a specific type of drummer. My heart is in hard rock, of course, but I like to just play good drums and play music on my drums. So it would have been amazing to play with Rolling Stones for a tour.
Yeah. It's incredible what you did with David Bowie's Heroes, and congratulations, just flown past the 50 million views mark, I think, on YouTube this week. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Which is absolutely incredible. Why that song by Bowie?
Well, it's kind of funny because I finished a little early in the studio with the drums, and we had some time off. So we were talking about putting 3 songs. I said Phil was choosing 3 songs. I did, was thinking about 3 songs, and Lemmy 3 songs, and we were going to just record a few extra cover songs. And Phil actually suggested this David Bowie song, Heroes. And Lemmy said absolutely no, he didn't want to do it. Not because he didn't like it, because he said, I can't do it. I'll destroy it. I'll probably destroy the damn thing, And it's such a great song. I don't want to even try. But it turned out to be one of his favorite songs that we did for this album, and including the some of the cover tunes, So there you go. He really put his heart and soul into it, and it sounds fantastic, I think.
Yeah. You guys dedicated The World Is Yours to Dio. Foo Fighters have dedicated No Son of Mine to Lemmy. There's lots of honouring in music, isn't there? When Foo Fighters gave the nod to Lemmy, it must have been a very nice thing for you to see.
Absolutely. I mean, it's what it is. Most of us are just great friends out there, We love what we're doing. We have the same vision. We have the same mentality, most of us. And, just trying to be having a good time, entertaining the crowd and enjoying ourselves along the way. That's how it is. So, of course, when a colleague passes away, you do whatever you can. I mean, it's so final. I remember when Ronnie passed away, it felt like a disaster, and then, one after the other keeps popping off this planet. And what can you do, You could just honor the person, or as good as you can.
Yeah. Let me just reach down to my floor down here, because it's all slipped over. How good is this? How good is this record? You weren't with the band. You weren't with the band at that point. So tell me, as a listener, when you go and listen to that, what enjoyment does it give to you?
Well, it's one of these albums that you gotta have, and there's a few of them out there, but that's just definitely one of them, And I was a sucker for live records. I still am, but especially in the 70s and going in the 80s, live records were my favorites, you know. Made in Japan, Live in Dangerous, you know, Rainbow Live, Journey Captured, Rush, you know, All the World at Stage, Exit Stage Left, every record, Gonzo, you know, with Ted Nugent. I mean, you know, there was so many good records. On Your Feet, On Your Knees, Blue Oyster Cult, like Sabbath, Uriah Heep. Live records I was just crazy about. And this was one of them. So once you heard this one, you're kind of damaged for life, you know. Then there's something missing in every music you hear. Is, well, this is a great album, but it's not a, you do miss that little fuck you attitude ingredients that Motörhead always had.
Yeah. So, Mikey, I guess the next we hear from you musically is the next Scorpions album. How far off's that?
It will be released next year. I don't know exactly when, but we have to time this by the time we can start touring, you know, I suppose. So it'd be ridiculous to release it now and then we can't start touring yet. But it's an amazing record. We recorded live and we enjoy every minute of it, you know. So it'll be a good surprise.
Yeah. Is there a title for it?
I don't know if I can reveal that yet, so I better not. But I'm sure there is.
Well, I know you've got a lot to do today, talking around the world about the new Motörhead compilation. So thank you for joining us here at Noise 11. I'm going to go off now and watch the Young Ones Motörhead episode. Oh, yeah. One of my favourite Young Ones episodes. I think it's time tonight
to watch that a couple of times.
I'll celebrate talking to you by going to watch that.
Right. Okay.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
And I can't wait to see you guys in Australia again.